Alright, this is an update on the Then Came Bronson Bike. It's a 1972 Harley Sportster XLH, which is actually 3 years newer than what the bikes were back then, but it's a pretty good representative example of what's going on. I'm to the point now where the bike is wired. All the cases have been polished. I didn't take off the cam cover and polish it because I didn't want to mess with the timing on it. But as you can see, it's got Then Came Bronson's bikes. They had they had chrome oil tanks. The shocks had Andrew foot pegs on the back, and they're Andrew foot pegs on it. The shocks are painted black on the inner side. Got a chrome chain guard on it. It's still got the original 19-inch front wheel on it. I didn't want to go through the expense to try to update that, and it looks fine the way it is. It's all been polished out. Both the front and the back have been polished out. The heads have been polished, or the rocker covers, I should say, been polished. It's got the speedo and tack on it, set on it. I still got to install the internal throttle linkage on it. It's got the Bates headlight on it now, and I had an old visor. This typically would have had an old visor where the light was actually mounted to it. I cut this. It was messed up, so I cut this down and used the instrumentation for the oil pressure gauge and the generator light. I didn't want to carve into the headlight bucket and put them in there, but it definitely needed them, so I just added it to there. There's a little circuit board in there, and that's correct for it, and all Harleys had that back then. The high beam gauge is on the speedo like a regular Harley. It's carrying the original Bendix carburetor on it. Starter's been all cleaned up and redone. All new oil lines. All the oil lines have the crimp instead of screw wire type stainless steel screw wire type clamps. I'm trying to make it original as I could. It's got the foot pegs, got the correct right side shifter on it. The generator was chromed when I got the bike, so I'm just, more bling bling. But the carburetor has been rebuilt. I got a chrome coil bracket for it. Front brake works. Everything works on that. Clutch is installed. It's got the correct chrome battery box. It's got the correct voltage regulator, a little starter relay down there that's chrome plated. It also has the, I polished out the chrome primary cover, and I put a Harley Davidson, which fit really well, the Harley Davidson emblem, which comes off of the earlier FL bikes, and the turtle tank had those emblems. And Harley Davidson, during that show, they said, well, there really was no insignia of Harley Davidson, so they added that to it on the polished case. So I thought that was pretty cool, so I added that. Chrome horn cover. Everything is come along really nicely. I've got the front fender and the rear fork, or the rear sissy bar, that's out, being chrome plated. I should be getting that back in another week or so. This is November 14th, I believe. So the front suspension, I got these boots. The boots were typically on a 70, 60, 69 and 70, 68. They had wider lower fork arms, and the boots actually mounted up against her. On my 1970 bike, it has that. But really, from where this bike came from, and scavenging parts, and just trying to find parts that are correct for the bike. The tires aren't correct, but I'm not going to mess with them. The tires are fairly new, but the bike has really come out really nice. It's going to be a cool part of my collection. I love Then Came Bronson, and this ignition switch, which was interesting back in those bikes, just like my 1970. The ignition switch is actually underneath the seat, really close to the oil tank cover there. And but that's the way they were, so that's what you get. And but a lot of new hardware's on it. Some of it's been painted. You can't really tell, but I just felt that I wanted to clean it up. It's really filthy in this place. This is really a hard place to be making a clean bike, but you have to cover them all the time. And as you can see from that guy over there, he hasn't been covered a lot, so he's really filthy. But that may be my next project to go through, the 1971 FLH. But this bike is in really good shape. It's all clean underneath. It's just really in good shape, and can't wait to get the tank and the rear fender on it and get it finished. But hopefully in the next, I don't know, probably month or so, hopefully before Christmas, I can have this thing done. And I got to work on my showroom for it. But the bikes in here are just really, they're getting so filthy. Probably the next bike I'll work on is the 70. Actually, it's the 72 Super Glide. I finally got the rear. I got the rear exhaust for it. On this, all it needs to finish is it's all throttle. Everything's set to go. The only thing that's needed on this bike is to finish it is well, I got the battery box mounted. I got that in there. The only thing that's needed is to paint one of the tanks. It needs to have the right side tank painted. The other side of the tank is painted. Mount the dash in the tank, and mount that fender, or mount that exhaust pipe. It's just hanging on there right now. Mount that, and this bike is done. And put the seat on it, and it's done. And here again, it's a shame that it's sitting out here in this dustbin, but so it's going to all have to be cleaned up again. But here again, that bike is in awesome shape, and it's virtually done, other than a few things. I repainted the back seat fiberglass section on it. So, but this will probably be the next one. I need to work on this and get this thing done, get this thing moving on. So this will be the next one I finish up on. And then I'll go to the 71. Hey Yeti boy, what's up? This is my helper dude. So this one's really coming along well. Just saw it, document it. The next step for this is I've got the 2-in-1 exhaust pipe system. It's not the 68, 69 exhaust system. It's actually the 70 exhaust system, which was a stamped version of the 2 exhausts. But that's what I'm going to be installing next to get the exhaust system on it. Then I got to get the tanks put on it. I still got the rear struts coming. I've got the cable for the tack, the choke, and once all that's set up, just this bolting on the rear sissy bar and the front fender, and this bike will be pretty much complete. So that's where we are at this point. 1972 Harley Davidson Sportster XLH. Doesn't have the kick. That's another thing that the Bronson bike did have. It was both kick and electric start, but I looked at doing that, but I'm not going to do it right now. I think once this thing gets painted up, and it'll look awesome. So anyhow, that's where we are. Thanks for watching.